What's happening? It's your boy Geeky Guy Comics back again. As you all know, again I've changed the setup. It looks fantastic. I just literally bought out the Geeky Guy Comic man cave from the inside, brought it out to the outside. The weather's been sublime. You guys kind of like the new setup, so I thought why not just take advantage of this weather and get straight into it. But we are back this time around. No, it's not a pop unboxing. No, it's not a mystery box. It's nothing to do with pops. It is comics. We are here to talk about comics. I'm so happy about that. We are on week number 20, I think it is. There's a few delays of the comics that are still catching up from week 13, 14 and 15, vice versa, but they're all coming through now. Digital has been a saviour for the last couple of months for all of us comic readers out there, but thankfully we are able to now receive new comics. I've ordered a few, they're coming tomorrow. So for New Comic Book Day, which was yesterday, I was reading digital copies, but there was a few that came out. Marvel were back on the scene with some fantastic ones. We had Venom #5. That's going to be a first appearance of a new character. I'm not going to jump in with spoilers with that. What else did we have? We had DC had some fantastic comics out there. Image had some really good comics, but I'm literally just going to dive straight into my read of the week, and it is Basket Full of Heads #7. Unfortunately, this amazing comic run has now come to an end. It's been fantastic from start to finish. On the writing we had Joe Hill, on the artwork we had Leo Max. It has been sublime. These 7 comics have been in depth, they've been gritty, they've been dark, they've been disturbing, they've been intriguing, they've been surprising, they've been every single emotion you could expect from a comic. These have been it. From the first issue where we found out how this story was going to pan out. I mean, before we get into it, this was the first comic of the horror genre that really got me involved in it, so massive shout out to Joe Hill for that. If you haven't been reading them, Joe Hill is the brainchild behind Hill House Comics. Now obviously he's the son of Stephen King, but Hill House Comics are horror genre comic company, and they do some fantastic stuff. They do the stuff like the Lolo Woods, Lock and Key, which is now a series over on Netflix, Basket Full of Heads, we've got Plunge, we've got Daphne Bryan #3, we've got what else have we got? Let's have a quick look. There's so many out there, but it's really good. Let's just have a look at my digital portfolio here. So we have got the above ones that I mentioned, but also we have, let's just get into it, we have the Dollhouse Family. Now the Dollhouse Family again is an absolutely fantastic comic. They are all there, they're all part of the Hill House comic, they all fall under DC Black Label. With DC Black Label we've got the likes of Harleen, you've got Joker, Harleen, Criminal Sanity, you've got Joker Killer Smile, you've got Superman Year One, so there's a load under the DC Black Label umbrella. But thankfully Basket Full of Heads by Joe Hill, Hill House Comics, kind of turned my head towards a horror genre comics. I'd never really read any horror comics before, but I'm definitely going to be reading a lot more. So back to Basket Full of Heads #7. So if you've been reading the run, you'll know that at the end of issue 6 it came to a head. June had finally found out where Chief Clawson was keeping Liam on his boat. She goes to confront him and try and rescue Liam. She gets hit over the head. Boom Doc gets smashed, thrown overboard with her trusty act that she's had, and she's fighting for her life. And so we are left to wonder, is she going to make it out alive? Obviously, is there going to be another twist and turn in this fantastic comic that there has been so far? Finally, we do get to find out. Now this comic review is going to be as much without the spoilers as it possibly can be, but if you haven't read the comic so far, I would stop reading. There are going to be some spoilers in it, as I've just said, but if you have read the comic, please continue this journey with me and let's talk about it. So basically, June and her trusty axe, they make their way to the boat. As I mentioned, they get hit, thrown overboard. She's tied up, she's drowning, and what is really surprising is that she's drowning amongst a load of other dead floating bodies. Now, are these dead bodies that have been that have succumbed to the evilness of Chief Clawson and his corrupt gang, or are they just dead bodies that have been over the years just been killed and thrown into the ocean? Now anyway, we think June's going to die. All of a sudden she sources like this magical power, the bond that she's had between the axe, she summons it, it cuts her the rope off that's tied around her. She manages to get back on the boat, and before you know it, the boat has kind of derailed. It's all about to smash into a dock, and she takes this opportunity to turn around and boom, she smashes Chief Clawson in half. Now you'll notice that throughout the comic run, she has everyone that she's killed, she's cut off the heads, therefore being called basket full of heads. This time round, she doesn't cut off his head, she cuts off his body, but he still manages to stay alive. And we find out that it is a source of the axe, and it brings life to people, it doesn't kill them. Therefore, the heads that she's cut off stay alive, quite simply. Now, there has been this back and forth corruption thing about, is her boyfriend Liam involved? Does he know anything about the money that's gone missing from the girl that killed herself and jumps off the bridge? We find out that unfortunately he was involved, and we only find this out because Chief Clawson is dying on the floor and once again drops the ball, opens his big mouth and drops Liam in it, as Liam is there beaten black and blue, still tied up. June's talking to him, thinking that she finally found him, they can make their future together. He turns around to her and says, look, I never had anything involved, I wasn't involved in the corruption. The reason why I kept it a secret and didn't want you to didn't want them to find anything out about me is because of this. And he points to Chief Clawson's shirt pocket. She pulls out a ring. We think it's going to be glory, glory, happy ever after, but it's not. As she opens the ring, she sees this big fuck-off diamond. She's over the moon, thinking, oh my god, Liam, you was going to propose to me. Then Chief Clawson opens up his mouth and says, where do you think he got the money from for that? And then it kind of snowballs from there. Liam just lets loose. It's like his tongue doesn't know what to do, it can't stop talking, and he just blags about everything. He basically says, yes, I was involved in it, she was going to die anyway, so what was I going to do with the money? Of course I was going to take it. He takes it, and then we find out that he's as corrupt as all the rest of them. And then there's an amazing cutscene, and you just think, she's not going to do it, she's not going to do it, she's going to cut him loose, and then boom, she cuts off Liam's head as well. So at the end of it, you've got Chief Clawson, who's literally cut in half from the neck all the way down. You've got her boyfriend Liam, who's headless, and literally it's just been thrown overboard. The boat crashes into the dock. She luckily enough jumps off. She jumps off. Chief Clawson and Liam end up overboard. Are they gone forever? Who knows? And it kind of like, it was a really surprise ending, because I thought, yeah, she's going to get together, she's going to find out that Liam wasn't involved, they're going to live happily ever after, and then someone's going to find a basket full of heads, and then is the comic run number 2 going to follow on from that? Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we are going to get a basket full of heads season 2, chapter 2. But all I can say from that is that it was really a really great comic from start to finish, because you really start to feel for June. I mean, she started in the comic as a shy woman that didn't really know much about herself, and then we've gone from that being this young, shy female that wouldn't say boo to a goose, being scared of when the house gets broken into, to becoming this powerful, empowering female lead that is now walking around with a axe. Is she killing because she has to? Is she got other motives? Is she killing because it's a way for her to survive and find Liam, or is she actually enjoying it and just thinks, well, if I can kill them and cut off their heads and carry around this basket full of heads, am I enjoying it a bit too much? Hopefully Joe Hill will get the plaudits for this comic, and he will think, yeah, I'm going to do another run of it, because I, for one, would be so interested to find out what happens to June after this. Does she become a mad, maniacal serial killer? Does she kind of let bygones be bygones? Because at the end of the comic, she gets picked up by a woman who was one of the she was actually, like, I think she was like a living house cleaner for the Clawsons, and she was basically, it all comes out that as she jumps in the car with her, she was the one that had the recordings from the FBI. She's the one that dobbed them all in, so it wasn't Liam after all. So in that sense of the word, Liam was guilty, was innocent, but the killing of the girl, Liam was guilty as charged. So it's going to be really interesting, because June did throw the axe overboard with a basket full of heads. Is someone going to find the basket and it's all going to kick off again? Is someone going to find the axe and then get powered by that? Who knows? But yeah, from the Geeky Guy rating side of thing, it was definitely a 5 geeks out of 5. I absolutely loved it. Hill House Comics have really set the bar for horror genres, and I have to say, I'm gutted it's over. I really am gutted it's over. It was kind of, there was a kind of like, you can tell that there was a bit of a nod towards his dad Stephen King in it, because obviously throughout the comic run she wears the yellow Mac and she carries the basket, and that's kind of a subtle nod, I personally feel, back to It, where the little Georgie has his yellow Mac on and he's carrying his boat, and he gets taken down the drain by Pennywise. Is that a nod back to the Stephen King movie It? If you think it is, comment in the section below and let me know what you think. If it's the first time checking into Geeky Guy Comics YouTube, make sure you hit that notification bell so you're the first one that knows when the Geeky Guy Comics is dropping a fantastic video for all your viewing pleasures. Obviously hit the subscribe, like and share button. Follow me over on Instagram, follow me over on Facebook and Twitter. If there's anything you'd like me to review, hit me up, send me a DM, let me know. Comment in the sections below if there's anything else you want me to do, if there's some Funko Pops you want me to review. Geeky Guy Comics, I'm all about the geek community. Let me know if there's anything you want to do. So that was Basket Full of Heads. That was my #1 read of the week. Number 2 was Suicide Squad #5. Now, Suicide Squad #5, we all know and love it. You've got, who have you got? You've got Harley Quinn, you've got Deadshot, you've got, who else is in there? You've got Cheetah. A few of them were in there, but this time it's kind of transcended over to like a new breed. And at the end of #4, we see Rosita, the new breed. They had been sent on the assignment to find Captain Boomerang. Now, Captain Boomerang, if you see Suicide Squad the movie, you'll know what a massive part he played in that. The Australian, down on his luck, alcoholic, just wants to fight, really good at it, going to stick to what he knows. He's made his appearance. I thought he was going to be the one that was leading up the Suicide Squad, that was talking to, let me just have a quick look. He was talking to, I can't remember who the new runner is of the Suicide Squad. Now that Amanda Waller, she obviously stepped down, but I can't think who it was. Let's have a look. It was, what is his name? So yeah, obviously Amanda Waller steps down, but she stepped down at the start of this. But now this dipshit lot took over. He had no respect for him. I don't really think the Suicide Squad really liked Amanda Waller, but they had more respect for her than they do have for him. And it comes to it that they capture Captain Boomerang. It's a massive stand-up fight. It's a really good fight. Captain Boomerang puts up a wicked fight. It all kicks off, and obviously they take Captain Boomerang back to the Suicide Squad headquarters, and they say, right, we've got Captain Boomerang, here is what you wanted, here's the one that you wanted, now fuck off, basically, go away, do what you got to do, like, leave us out of it. And Locke just turns around to him and says, right, Deadshot, kill your mate. And everyone's like, what, hold on a minute, you sent us all the way to Australia to capture a fugitive, bring him back to you just for us to kill him? And he's like, well, look, I know what happened on the last mission I sent you. Do you honestly think I'm stupid? Do it, otherwise I'm going to set the bombs off in your head. And he gives the countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom, nothing happens. The Suicide Squad absolutely kick off, and there's a really good part in it. It's coming up on your screen now. You will see that Rosita literally shoots Locke in the head, and DC have done a swift move here and covered it over. Now, is this something that is too dark to be put in a DC comic? Who knows? I really enjoyed it. I thought it was quite a good twist. But overall, I'm enjoying the Suicide Squad comic run so far. This one was all about Captain Boomerang and how they captured him. It wasn't really, there was a bit of a intro story on, what's his name? There's a bit of an intro backstory on Jock. So here we are. So like, let me just go over it. So the Suicide Squad members at the moment, we have the Airy, we've got Wink, we've got Harley Quinn, we've got Deadshot, we've got Jog, Ozita, Finn, Chaos Kitten, Ty Lance, and Deadly Six. Apologies. These are up on your screen now. Now basically, these are the new breed. The only old school ones of them are Deadshot and Harley Quinn. All the rest of them are departed. They're either departed or they're dead, or they've gone on to bigger and badder things. But obviously Captain Boomerang is now back in the fold. So I'm an old school Suicide Squad lover, so maybe I've got to move with the times, but I really enjoyed when it was all about Harley Quinn and Deadshot and Captain Boomerang. And I can't really see, and I can't really get into the story following the New Breed. I don't really think they're up to the scratch. I mean, DC Comics, they're doing a fantastic job of it, but maybe I've got to move with the times, as I just mentioned, and give it a bit more. I mean, we're 5 issues in now. They've been adventurous, they've been packed full of action and drama and stuff like that, and hopefully we've always had the one-liners, the witty one-liners from Harley Quinn. And is she actually a good guy? Is she a bad guy? Who knows? Is she the villain, anti-villain, all that? She's always portrayed like that in every single comic she's in, but in Suicide Squad, I'd like to see a bit more of her come forward. And I think with Captain Boomerang now, hopefully them two will bring the comedic value that I think at the moment the Suicide Squad comic is kind of dwindling. Now it's going to be interesting because obviously at the end of this comic, now that Locke's been killed, we find out that Locke was actually reporting to someone. Now that someone is Ted Kord. Now for those of you who don't know, Ted Kord is obviously a billionaire engineering egomaniacal maniac who runs things, lives up in his high glass tower. But Ted Kord, for those of you who obviously know, he was the second Blue Beetle. Now he's now back in the fold, and it just seems that now he's going to be controlling the Suicide Squad. They turn around and say, well, we're after you now, we've got no one left to kill, we want these things taken out of our head, we're coming after you. And he kind of gives them an ultimatum. He turns around and says, well, if you're coming after me, I've got even more powerful people that I can click my fingers and will come running and will kill you, so you need to make that choice. Are you gonna, I would go running, or you stand up and fight. And being the Suicide Squad, they say, up you mate, we are coming to get you. And then it ends with them all jumping out of the glass tower, smashing on their way to kill Ted Kord. Now it's going to be interesting. Is the Blue Beetle going to make another appearance? It's fantastic. I love the Blue Beetle. He hasn't been around for a few years. I think he definitely did make an appearance in Heroes in Crisis. Only a little one, but hopefully Suicide Squad now, they pick up the pace in issue 6 and issue number 7 and really get back into what Suicide Squad is about. A group of absolute misfits running around doing good while they should be doing bad, trying to save themselves while saving other people. Is it for the good? Is it for the bad? Who knows? From Geeky Guy Comics, these one got a Geeky Guy Comics 3 out of 5 review, and that is only because I think it is portrayed too much on the new breed of the squad instead of keeping some of the backstory of the old squad. As I mentioned, hopefully with Captain Boomerang back in the fold now, and the 3 old school members of Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang and Deadshot, hopefully they'll all come together and we will all grow to love the new breed. But anyway, moving on to what was up next, we had Mercy number 2, which is by, I think it's Image Comics. Is it Image Comics? I think it is Image Comics, and it's by the fantastic Mirka Andolfo. Now Mirka Andolfo, she is absolutely killing it at the moment. She has done some fantastic stuff. Where are we? Image Comics, there we go. No, yes, it is Mercy. So Mercy number 2. So it's Mirka Andolfo's Mercy number 2. Now it is about the devil of Woodsburg. Now this is a fantastic comic. It's right up there. Having read Hill House comics and really got into the horror genre of comics, this is up there. It's about from what you will gather, it's about a fantastically, amazingly beautiful blonde woman that makes her return to Woodsburg. She isn't really known. No one really knows anything about her. She moves into this fantastic, amazing house at the top of Woodsburg, and all we know so far is that she's really wealthy, she's really rich, and she's pretty stunning. Woodsburg is obviously run by a family that run the mine. They're rich. We know from issue number 1 that there was a massive accident in the mines that this family run, and that they are held responsible for all the death and ill well-being in Woodsburg. And I think we kind of get to understand that there's a certain little girl in the comic, and she's homeless, and she works for like her uncle, so she's kind of like an Oliver Twist type of character, but she lives for this uncle, and she's like a pauper, and she keeps having this reoccurring dream that her mum is coming to her, and she sees her mum's face and she calls her angel. She never knew her mum, she grew up without her mum and dad, which is why she lives with her uncle, I say the term loosely, but she keeps seeing this woman in her dreams. And as the comic goes on and on and on, we find out that Lady Helene isn't all she seems to be. She sends out these invites to the high, rich and wealthy, saying, come to my house, let me introduce you. I'm into making businesses big, I'm into the real fish market, I really think this could pick up the pace of Woodsburg. It's a failing destiny, I could really pick up the pace here. And she invites everyone, all the rich and wealthy, to her new house to say, look, I'm Lady Helene, this is what I'm about, I'm here to make you wealthy again. And things don't really go to plan. Like, a certain character shows up and she has like an out-of-body experience. I think, I've seen you before. And then she meets the little homeless character. Let me see what she is called. She is called what's she called? There's a part in it where, what is her name? Rory. So Rory is the little girl that's homeless. She's kind of like, there's Rory and the person she calls Uncle. It's kind of like the Oliver Twist and Fagin situation. But yes, so she's in the middle of, she's just left this party, she's just left a little scene. If you haven't read the comic, make sure you do, you'll understand what I'm talking about a lot more. She's just left the party after causing the scene. She's walking out on her own. Lady Helene has been asked to leave just to get some fresh air, to really become what she's meant to be. She's walking down the alley, she bumps into Rory, and she's kind of like, I like you, Rory, but the scene that you just caused wasn't for me. And she turns around to Lady Helene and goes, aren't you cold? And Lady Helene, she says, cold I am not. I don't get cold, I don't get lonely, but I do get hungry, and I am very hungry at the moment. And she kind of transcends into this like alien-like, vulture, demon-like creature. Is she actually the devil of Woodsburg? Have we actually finally seen it? She goes to attack, she starts attacking Rory, but before you know it, Rory looks at her and says, oh my God, you're my mum, you're my mum, you're the angel that I see before me, you're the angel that I see when I sleep at night, you're my mum. And Lady Helene has another out-of-body experience, and she kind of thinks, I know this girl, I've seen her before. And it's really, really telling to think that, could there be a relationship building between Lady Helene and Rory? I think it is. I think there's more to go on this comic. We are only in issue number 2, but Mirka Andolfo, she does the writing and she does the drawing for this comic, and I've got to say, 10 out of 10. She's fantastic. She's an Italian writer. She does also Sind, I think it is. There's a few other comics that she's done, but she's really, really good. She's like one of the strongest female writers out there at the moment. She's absolutely killing it. But I'm really, really enjoying this run at the moment. I'm looking forward to see what else is going to happen. It's a strong ending to issue number 2. I think there's 6. It might be a 6 mini-part series. I'm not actually quite sure. But it's really, really strong at the moment. I'm really, really enjoying it. And for this one, I definitely had to give it a Geeky Guy Comics 4 out of 5 rating. I just found there wasn't anything wrong with the comic. I would have just liked to know more about Lady Helene's backstory. I mean, we do kind of get a snippet to, it's kind of like based on like a tribal ceremony thing that happens in the woods, and people have been captured and turned. Have they been turned into these creatures, or have they come from an alien spacecraft? Who knows? It's all out there. It's quite sci-fi. It's a mix of sci-fi, thriller, drama, action. It's got it all in there. It can tickle every bit of your taste buds. It's a really enjoyable comic. Absolutely loved it. What else did we have? I think we had, I'm just going to have a quick look. We had what else did we have? We had also we had we did have last week, no we didn't, we had Joker Harleen Criminal Sanity number 4. Now that came out this week, and I've got to say, I absolutely loved it. We are getting to see the Joker more and more. The backstory between the Joker and Harley Quinn is really coming to light. There's been about 3 or 4 different stories out over the last year or so. You've got Harleen, which tells her backstory, how she became the fantastic psychiatrist that she is, and then she gets slowly turned and possessed into the Joker's psychic, Harley Quinn. But it's been really good. You've got Joker Killer Smile that tells the story of the Joker, so that's a different take on it. These are all under the DC Black label, so again, if you don't know what that is, make sure you check it out. It's for the more of the adult viewer. There's some taboo subjects on there. There's like mass murdering, there's suicides, there's rape. It touches on the different subjects that you wouldn't see in a normal comic. But Joker Harley Criminal Sanity is fantastic. The more and more it goes on, the more and more you find yourself looking into the further details of how is she really dealing with this. Is this going to be another story where she's literally a world-renowned psychiatrist, sociologist, working for the GCPD, hunting a serial killer? There's two out there at the moment. There's the one that they think that they found, and there's also the half-body killer, I think it is, or the half-part killer. So there's two stories going on at the moment, but we really get to know more about the Joker, and it's dark, it's gritty. We get to know more about his backstory. We get to know the fact that he got turned down by Wayne Enterprises to go and work for them. We find out that there's no love lost between him and his father. His mum died. His father didn't really want to take him on. He did. He had to. He felt he had to, but now he thinks it's a waste of space. Doesn't want to know him. Has absolutely no respect for John. And some of the killings that are happening, they are really, really gruesome, and it's a really intricate comic that is fantastic. And I'll tell you what, this is Harleen is by no, Harleen, not Harleen. Joker Criminal Sanity is by, who have we got it by? It is by Cami Garcia. Now Cami Garcia and Miko Cyan, they have, from issue number 1 to issue number 4 where we are now, they really do seem to work really well together. The colours, the artwork, the penciling, the writing, they seem to be a match made in heaven. I'm not really sure if they've done any other comics together. I would be very interested to find out if they have, because I for one will have my hand up for that, and I will be looking to read them comics. But overall, Joker Criminal Sanity it's a look into the psyche of a criminal mastermind, but also a world-renowned sociologist, psychokinetical science physiotherapist, not physiotherapist, that's the muscle, psychiatrist. So you kind of see it from her side of things. You see her and you really get involved with her, how she's going to crack the case, is there anything she's missing. But then on the other side you see what it's like to be a serial killer, and he's always one step ahead. He's always doing something, and Harley Quinn is always behind him. The GCPD are always behind him. They seem to be further back than Harley Quinn, but she is always there, and as this issue tells you, she's slowly getting there, or so you think. Give it a read, let me know what you think. Comment in the section below, let me know what you've been thinking of DC Black Label overall. Are you a horror fan, lover? Are you Marvel? Are you DC? Are there any comics out there that I haven't read that you'd like me to read and review? Is there anything I'm missing? Is there any comics out there that I haven't read and you think, Geeky Guy Comics, you need to read this, these are absolutely fantastic? Let me know. Hit the notification button, hit the subscribe, like and share button. Tell your mum, your dad, your sister, your brother, the postman, the mailman, the geezer down the kebab that serves up a banging kebab. Let him know that Geeky Guy Comics from South East London is doing things for the geeky community. Guys, it's been absolutely fantastic. I was looking forward to reading more comics, but I'm going to have to catch up on the Venom run because I'm only on Venom 22 at the moment. So Venom 25 is hot on the heels. I'm looking forward to catch up with that at the weekend. If you haven't done so already, make sure you check out the rest of my videos. Make sure you follow me over on Instagram. It's all geeky community stuff over there. We're doing the reviews, we're doing the pops unboxings, as you can see here. We have got a few more things coming up. I did receive my first ever chase in the post today. This was a giveaway that I won in January. Have a look at that. It is 11 holding the Eggos in her chase outfit with the blonde hair. The original one is that I've got as well, but obviously you can see the standard one, which is number 421 there she is. But I mean, this is the detailing on this. I'm not going to take this out of the box. This is one pop that I will not be taking out of the box. Detailing on this is absolutely fantastic. The other day I received the Johnny Bravo and the Dexter's Laboratory. Check out the video over on YouTube, let me know what you think. It's always great to have new subscribers. Hit the like button, it really does so much for Geeky Guy Comics. We can get it really just does expand the brand. There's lots more coming from Geeky Guy Comics in the year 2020. So guys, it's been an absolute pleasure, and if I don't see you for a week,